You hearing me okay?
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Jerome, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Haj, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
All right, guys. Welcome to our men's only corner where we here at this program talk about the issues affecting our women via our campaign called Justice for My Jewel. And this evening we have some amazing guests on the line. Jerome Chambers from out there in Hartford, Connecticut, and Haj Gay from out there in Lake Worth, Florida. And these two gentlemen have been very intricately involved with the campaign Justice for My Jewel. And we wanted to talk with them this evening about their involvement, why they're involved, and just give you guys a feel of what's going on behind the scenes in some of these men's lives who are involved with this campaign for our women. So let me run out there to Hartford, Connecticut, and talk to a gentleman that has been very vocal and very consistent with being involved in this campaign, and a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for because he has made it his duty to spread the word about this campaign. Jerome Chambers, tell us briefly what has brought you forth to look at this campaign, what moved you to get involved, and what are some of the things you're doing to spread the word about this campaign, Jerome?
Well, first of all, let me thank you for put me on this panel. I'm not used to this type of thing in terms of this panel, but it's all about growth, and I thank you for allowing me to share on this, and for you, Wayne, all who have been there with me from time immemorial. We won't say the time because it will tell your age, even though show, right? And but when I saw this just before you actually introduced it to me, and I saw Mr. Demon Crump with it, someone who I have been, close to in terms of where he's coming from in the industry, and saw him with it, I was questioning where is he going with this, just like anybody else would. That's a normal question. What is this person coming with? Sanitary napkins and everything. I said, okay, let me keep a close watch on it. And when you approached me, I said, okay, it is going somewhere. And when I look back at it, I said, this is something that my wife and daughter use. So it must be interested. And being in the wellness industry for a couple of years now, again, I won't say the time, right, Wayne? So to show us our age, yeah. But in the wellness industry, in and out in terms of not really deep in it, but the background is there in terms of it. I said, well, if this is something good, and I have my precious daughter and my wife who uses this, I must look into it closer. So I thank you for bringing it forward to endorse it even more to say, hey Jerry, you need to move on this. Since then, it was what 2 years ago. I decided to just look at it in terms of my daughter's sake, and my daughter's sake is that she has been going through a lot with what is in terms of her menstrual and everything, and even her own brother, my son Jordan, couldn't believe it. I had to just tell him, listen, it's just that hormonal change she's going through, because she was so harsh, I would say, let me put it that mildly. She was just harsh towards him and everything. Since changing to these sanitary napkins, I've seen the change in her mannerism, everything. No longer texting or calling, Daddy, bring home, those painkillers, Advil, whatever, droves, boxes of those things to come home with. No longer that. Um, you know, I have a term that during that time of the month, we men would have PMS. And PMS mean pack my suitcase. That's the time you want to come out of the house. Yeah? And no pun intended, peace is flowing like a river now. Yes, because of that time of the month, you don't know when. Yeah, and I mean, I have no taboo about it because I usually go in the supermarket and I call it, not to, I'm not calling a brand name. know, I used to go in the supermarket to pick up the unsanitary napkin for my wife and daughter. So I have no qualms about it. It's something that once we understand what is happening with the women, we'll appreciate them more. Like I told,
Absolutely.
a couple ladies, they're called women. Yes. So they have the womb and they bring forth men. So we have to protect them. Yes.
Amen.
So I
Amen.
I
Amen.
I have it that my passion has meet my purpose, and my purpose is to spread this awareness. No two
I love
ways
that.
about it, no qualms about it.
Well,
Right.
Jerome, I'm
So
going to come back to you in a minute with some more
sure,
questions and your concerns, but I appreciate that share because that gives us a background as to what got you involved. And I'm going to throw that same question to my friend over there in Lake Wales, a gentleman that I have a lot of respect for. Matter of fact, guys, let me spread the news that this gentleman got ordained today. He's an ordained minister, and I was blessed to
Amen.
be in the room to see it happen. We have some pictures and things, but Taj, um, I would love for you to talk to the public and tell us what made you get involved with a campaign uh, such as this. And it was your first campaign of this sort, and it's a woman's product. What drew you as a younger man to get involved with this campaign?
Well, first off, I'd like to thank you, Mr. Wayne, for having me on today. Hey, Mr. Jerome, I really appreciate the opportunity to have this platform to discuss something that's truly it's imperative. It's a big deal, and so I'd like to thank you for having me on. Uh, Similar to Mr. Jerome, it was a couple years ago, and unlike Mr. Jerome, I'm a single man. I don't have a wife. I don't have children. So, but when Mr. Wayne approached me with it, I actually I was very I don't know, I guess naive almost because it was something I never even thought twice about. It was like this is needed. This is a necessity. Um, and the more I began to educate myself on it, the more sure I felt about the campaign and the more attached I felt to it because I knew it served a greater purpose. And my whole thing has been just being an advocate for people who don't advocate for themselves, really. Um, a lot of women, they weren't actively educating themselves on the health benefits of certain, or I'm sorry, or rather the negatives of the product they had been using. So, some people just use what they have. Some people don't know what they don't know. So this was an opportunity to be a part of a campaign that would spread the awareness and let people know, not just women but men too, men who have wives and daughters and mothers and aunts and nieces, to be able to spread the awareness and let them know what they're putting into their body and to be advocates on their behalf and let them know they have support in their own homes and their own communities. And that again, it's not a taboo topic. This is serious business right here because women and young ladies are losing their lives over things that we don't think twice about. So I think being a part of this campaign is just for me. It's been a very selfless thing, but it's also been a major moment in my life because we all love it. We wouldn't be here without a woman. So yeah, I think that's our one of our fundamental duties as a man is to protect, and this is one of those instances of us protecting. So that's what makes me so passionate about it, and I'm proud to be attached to the campaign and all of the men and women attached to it as well. So,
I appreciate that, Haj. And I'm going to come back to you with another question that blows my mind for someone as young as you and something that's happening recently. But I'm going to go back over to Hartford, Connecticut. And Jerome Chambers has been so strongly involved with this campaign that he says earlier that this platform is not one that he's accustomed to. But Jerome is out in plazas doing demonstrations of what we have to offer our women to make sure that they get the best of what is out there in the marketplace. What drives you, Jerome, to move from that place of of your comfort zone to go out and do something that you normally wouldn't have done? What's making you do that out there in Hartford? And I know you're going to New York and you had the largest team of people spreading the campaign in Jamaica at one point. But what's pushing you to make sure you're consistently in front of people spreading the campaign?
Okay, well, let me tell you, it's all about teamwork. And what time is it? Yeah, you see that? Okay, so the teamwork and the drive of persons like yourself, Arlene, Mr. Watson, the camaraderie that is behind it. That's number one, too. And where I'm at in terms of here in Hartford, too, my involvement in church and everything. And, this today we had something, a Caribbean service, and then cookout afterwards, and I'm looking around and saying, look at these young ladies. So this is what driving me to say, hey, I cannot have something that that gives them an option to what we say, preserve lives. And as Ash says, and I said too, they are the ones who bring forth us men. So we have to look after them. So, my passion is really to get it out there. To get, if somebody tell me no, I said, okay, no to me mean next opportunity. Yeah, because down the road, they're going to come back and say, this is what Jerry was telling me about. He wasn't playing around with this thing. I'm not in it for the money. I am in it to spread the awareness with that passion. You understand? And the drive is there where I said, is my passion meeting a purpose. And this is my purpose in life now, apart from my other stuff, is to get this out there, to spread the word. I haven't touched, let me put it this way, I haven't scratched a scratch yet in Hartford here. Um, Joy's here repair on Blue Hills Avenue here. She has opened her door as a home for me to share with women who goes into her establishment. So much so that she has even set up where, and this is somebody who's respected here in Hartford too, and very active. Without any qualms or anything, she said, "Hey, you get something to display your product in this establishment because I believe in it." Herself get the product from me and she has her story. So once you have that acknowledgement, Hartford is new to me in terms of 2 years now. And it is and will be on the map of changing people's lives. And this is where I'm seeing it going. Mark, you with the help of you guys, and as I said, it's a pleasure seeing you two on this platform too, and for us three who have been so close in terms of in the spirit,
Yep.
of our ministry. Yeah. And this is where we have to take it. Yeah.
Amen.
Okay.
Jerome, you shared something with me some time ago that moved my heart. Um, and I hope you'll be able to share even a part of it. But you said to me, you have seen a 180-degree turn in your daughter's life in terms of where she was not knowing what was going on in her body and where she is now via this campaign. Do you mind sharing even a little bit, if it's not too emotional for you, with the people so men can understand why we as fathers, why we as husbands are so drawn to this campaign and why we're taking this campaign to the next level? Can you share with us a little bit about your own daughter?
The bottom line is that she was close to being what I call it now in terms of the split personality. She was close to being diagnosed with that. When she was in sixth form at Woolmer's Girls, and we had to rush her to the emergency. I had to leave work. God bless the company I worked with. Used their company vehicle to rush her to the hospital, and she was, sick. She took her to, the psychiatrist, everything. didn't diagnose her with anything. He just no medication or anything, and so it was traumatizing because we had to upper six form. God timing is right for us to move here in hand. And I said, since moving here, changing that product, yeah, as you said, it's coming down my eyes now. Um, and since using the product, apart from that too, in terms of, she really using it consistently, which is the liners, which, she used consistently and others. We have seen myself, my whole family, I've seen where she's holding her own now. She's more comfortable. She is the sweetest daughter anyone would want. Yeah. So it is really I would say a 360 degrees turnaround for her life. Yeah. And I make sure she have this product even before she run out. Yeah.
Right.
Even if I'm not spreading it with anyone else, she is top priority. But I must spread it with others who have daughters. I'm not that selfish.
I
Okay?
appreciate that, Jerome. I know that that must have been hard. But when you shared it with me, it made me realize that men and women needed to hear this because, as you said, we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this so that people can understand the value of what we have in front of us with the Justice for My Jewel campaign and why we are so passionate. Real quick, I'll tell you that recently, well, as recent as uh, earlier this week, our daughter called from Canada and said, "Dad, um, are you? Do you have more of those napkins?" Um, and I said, "Sure." She says, "Because she just had a baby a few months ago, and she says I feel like my period is about to start again, and I don't want to go back to the shelf. I need those that you have." You know how that made me feel as a father to
Hmm.
know that we're doing something good to the point where all the way from Canada, she's asking for this
Hmm.
product. So, Harj, I'm going to come back down to Lakewell. You asked me today in coming to church, Mr. Wayne, can you bring some products with you? Why did you want me to bring products, Harj? What's going on in your neck of the woods? Why do you want products so bad that you couldn't even wait to order yours?
Because I've had a few young ladies reach out to me just within the past 2 to 3 weeks, just inquiring about it, and I was I was saddened to let them know that I didn't have any product on hand, and I was like, I know I wouldn't see Mr. Wayne for another couple of days or so. So it's in demand, and it's just they understand the value, and that alone right there lets me know that this is we're on the right path. And like you said, this is something that they can't afford to go without this. You know what I mean? This isn't something that this isn't optional. This is something we have to really continue to push and to really to,
Correct.
and I think the product will speak for itself, and it has. Um,
Yeah.
it's a necessity now because they've seen an alternative. Yeah, they've seen an alternative now, and they're understanding what they were going through, and now this is the alternative. So it's a blessing to see how it's all coming together. But it's I can't wait to get them in.
That's right. That's right. So,
Uh,
in closing out, Jerome, what final words for today's program do you have to say, especially to men who are still in the dark or they make themselves be in the dark because they're not taking this information serious enough to protect their daughters and wives? What final words do you have to share with them today? And thank you for being so open with us today, Jerome, because I know everybody must have felt the emotion that you shared on this program. But what do you have to say to these men who don't understand the value of this campaign?
well, there's no taboo or nothing to hold back to have these on hand for your ladies. See, I'm holding them. the liners and the napkins which show different forms. I will walk with these in public. Yeah, and men do not snub at it. Yes, this is nothing more than changing the women in your lives, and you are responsible for that. It would be criminal for you not to share this with them. Yes, it. I mean, I shared something about tears of your mother, tears of your woman. You shouldn't be comforted in terms of just hugging them. Give them this product, right? We all have options of sharing this product with them. Yes, for all my friends who tune in, they can get in touch with me to find out how they can get this product. Yeah, I we already have a Prince of Pad. I am a Jewel ambassador, and I'm a Jewel ambassador for life.
Amen. Thank you, Jerome. Appreciate you, man. Haj, any final words that you have for young men and middle-aged men that you would see out there watching this program but still haven't decided to make a move to get involved with the campaign?
I'm going to present a scenario, a visual. Neither one of us, no person I know who loves their wife, their daughter, their niece, their mother, their aunt, would allow them to drink poison. Would you?
Wow.
Would you? Would you
Correct?
sit? Would you, Mr. Wayne? I don't believe in Mr. Jerome. I don't believe you would allow your wives
Mhm.
or your daughters to drink poison in front of you, and that would be okay with
No,
you. The bottle says
no, no.
poison. The
Wow.
bottle says toxin. The bottle says deadly, fatal if consumed. Right?
Mhm.
None of you guys would allow that to happen. So I think in this case, we can look at it this way: it is your fundamental obligation to protect your women and
Yeah,
all the women in your life, and they don't even have to be related to in your community. We're
correct,
obligated to spread this information, and it's
correct.
about being selfless, and it's about understanding the importance of community and the people. These We're on the earth to serve each other, whether we notice or not. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about us. So it's very important that we serve each other, and this is an act of servitude by protecting one another, by putting each other in beneficial situations. And that comes down to health, which is the number one. So
Yeah,
I would just say, whomever if you really love them, take action. And this
yeah,
is
Wow.
a prime example of taking action.
Well, I appreciate both you gentlemen. Um, I didn't mention this at first, but Jerome Chambers is a banker over there in Hartford, Connecticut, and Haj Gay is a teacher over there in Lake Wales. I spent over 20 years as a realtor, and right now this campaign is the most important thing for me. And you just heard from two men from different backgrounds, different areas, why this campaign is so important and powerful. Guys, if you're watching this, get in touch with one of us. Let us get you the information that you need to go and help save your family's lives, your daughters, your wives. Don't be criminal, as Jerome said, to leave this program and not share it. Don't be so cold hearted, as Har said, to sit there and watch them put toxin on their bodies and do nothing about it. Guys, we appreciate you coming on this evening. We appreciate all of you who came on to view this program. And let us know how you think we're doing, because we're doing this for the greater cause of saving our women's life. This is Wayne Hall from Winter Haven, Florida, calling it a day. Thanks, Jerome. Thanks, Haj. Guys, have a blessed day. This broadcast officially over. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Wayne. You have a good one.
good. Thank you.